everyone, Alicia Panzarella here, looking at 4 different resources that I think do a great job of manifesting a STEM passion and a STEM mindset. So we're going to start with the book Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. And really the overview of the book is the overview of the universe and how did it come into being? How did it expand? What is it made of? How did it make stars and galaxy clusters? And then ultimately, how did scientists try to figure out the secrets of the universe? So it is just simply fascinating. It provides a really good conversational summary of information that's pertinent to cosmology and astrophysics, but most importantly, it's written in a way that inspires curiosity, regardless of the fact if you have a background in physics. So the stories that he provides, I think, do a really good job of showcasing curiosity, persistence, and flexibility from those scientists. And then ultimately from the reader side, we look at being curious is what makes you powerful. And I think as a reader, as you go through this book, there are so many aspects where you kind of stop and go, oh, like I never thought of that before. And there's this spark of curiosity and inquiry that is so important to this reading, but also so important to STEM. So with that, we move on to Hidden Figures, and I just love this movie, the story, these women, the historical aspect of this. So these women were the computers behind the moon mission, and the movie does a stunning job of showing the mathematics and the science behind what these women were able to do, but it also looks at the racism aspect as well. So those are really the key reasons why I'm recommending this, because we're seeing women in STEM, but we're also seeing the racism and inequality aspect that becomes extremely inspiring and empowering, and you kind of learn something about history, math, and science along the way. So cultivating a STEM identity, I think first and foremost, fosters a productive belief that science is for everyone. These women certainly showed that, and they certainly broke down barriers. And then the belief that persistence is more important than pedigree was something from our reading, but I also think it's a theme throughout this movie. And if you do choose to watch it, you will see the people who've relied on their pedigree and their status of, oh, I'm this, this, and that, therefore I have to be right. Therefore, I should be the one doing this. And these women were very persistent, and they persevered past that stereotype and that bias to do just amazing feats of science. Absolutely stunning movie. I highly recommend. Next thing is the podcast that I listen to. So we are all familiar with TED Talks and TED Ed, so it kind of makes sense that TED Talks Science and Medicine would be a podcast. And what I like about this and why I recommend this resource is that they're very short, informative videos. So anywhere from 7 to 30 minutes. We know that sometimes we have less time, sometimes we have more time. But in those different videos, it covers a wide and expansive array of topics. So I listen to one that was about how asparagus can be made into like a ligament now, but then also information about the coronavirus, and it's all from leading experts in their field. It's very informative, but it's also portrayed in a way that does cultivate that STEM identity. There's always this underlying aspect of like a growth mindset and being a lifelong learner. So not only is it informative, it can be inspiring and cultivates that STEM identity, all while being pretty darn interesting. So finally, the place that I visited was actually a couple weeks ago before I even saw this module. I had gone to Woodland Gardens in Kennett Square, and this is just a breathtaking a place to go. Like I honestly can't even describe the amazing scenes that you will see throughout this area, because everywhere you look, there is something different to view. Everywhere you look is a different take on a garden. And that's really where that this overview comes in, because it's a beautiful array of horticulture and landscape. And there's information along the walkways, and there's also hiking trails. Like it is just a place that is breathtaking and it's mesmerizing. And you walk around and you really are just deep in thought, or you just kind of, let it wave in this beautiful nature that you're surrounded in. And it has some pretty excellent food. But the fact where it cultivates a STEM identity, it is, once again, it makes you curious. It makes you want to question things while you're there. And it just provides this strong connection to STEM that you can almost feel. So I definitely recommend going here if you have the opportunity, and I recommend going here more than once because you'll see how it changes with the different seasons. All right, have a good day, everybody.